Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Voices of Zara. Every story here hits deep, and today's story, this one will leave you speechless. My name is Patricia, and I'm here to share something that changed my life forever. This is a story about betrayal, deception, and the sweet, sweet taste of justice. Before we begin, if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Your support means everything to me. And to my loyal listeners, thank you for being here. Now, let me take you back to 6 months ago when my perfect marriage started to crumble, or so I thought. For 15 years, I thought I had it all. My husband, Marcus, was a successful investment banker. We lived in a beautiful home in the suburbs, drove luxury cars, and our 2 children attended the best private schools. I was a devoted wife. I managed our home, raised our children, and supported Marcus through every promotion, every business trip, every late night at the office. Or so I believed. It started with small things, little inconsistencies that I brushed aside because I trusted him completely. He started working late more often, 3, sometimes 4 nights a week. He wouldn't come home until after 10 p.m. When I'd call, he'd sound distracted, annoyed even. Patricia, I'm in the middle of a major deal. Can we talk later? His phone became an extension of his hand. He'd take it everywhere, even to the bathroom. When it buzzed with notifications, he'd quickly silence it, his jaw tightening. Then came the business trips. Marcus had always traveled for work, but suddenly these trips increased. Weekend conferences, last-minute meetings, emergency sessions with international clients. I noticed he'd started going to the gym obsessively. New cologne, expensive haircuts. He even bought an entire new wardrobe, sleek suits, designer shoes, luxury watches. When I complimented him, he barely acknowledged me. Just trying to stay professional, he'd say, not even looking up from his phone. The intimacy between us, it disappeared. We became strangers living under the same roof. But I loved him. I trusted him. So I convinced myself it was just stress from work. How naive I was. Everything changed on a rainy Tuesday evening in March. Marcus had left for work early that morning, kissing me on the forehead like he always did. A hollow gesture that once meant something. Around noon, I was doing laundry when I found his iPad in the pocket of his gym bag. He must have forgotten it in his rush. I wasn't trying to snoop. I really wasn't. I just wanted to charge it for him. But when I turned it on, it was already unlocked. And there, right on the screen, was a message notification. Can't wait to see you tonight, baby. Wear that thing I like. Face blowing kiss. The sender? A contact saved as J. Peterson client. My hand started shaking. My heart pounded. So hard I could hear it in my ears. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe a wrong number. Maybe someone pranking him. But something inside me, a woman's intuition perhaps, told me to look deeper. I opened the messages. What I found destroyed me. Months of conversations. Intimate photographs, plans for secret getaways, explicit messages that made me physically sick. Her name was Jasmine. She was 28 years old, 15 years younger than me, a junior analyst at Marcus's firm. The messages painted a clear picture. They'd been seeing each other for over a year. Hotel rooms, weekend trips he'd told me were business conferences, gifts bought with our joint account. One message particularly gutted me. Marcus, she suspects nothing. Patricia's so focused on the kids, she doesn't even notice I'm gone. Jasmine, poor thing. When are you going to leave her? Marcus, soon, baby. I just need to protect my assets first. The prenup is solid, but I need to move some things around. I sat on our bedroom floor, surrounded by laundry, and cried until I had no tears left. But then, something shifted inside me. The sadness transformed into something else. Something colder, more focused. If Marcus wanted to play games, I would show him what a real strategic mind looked like. I didn't confront him. I didn't scream or throw things or file for divorce immediately. Instead, I became a detective in my own marriage. The next morning, I acted completely normal. I made Marcus his favorite breakfast, eggs Benedict with fresh squeezed orange juice. I kissed him goodbye with a smile. "Have a great day, honey," I said sweetly. He barely looked at me. "You too." Once he left, I went into action. First, I contacted my old college roommate, Rebecca, who happened to be one of the best divorce attorneys in the state. Over coffee, I explained everything. "Don't do anything yet," she advised. "We need evidence. Lots of it. And we need to understand exactly what assets we're dealing with." She referred me to a private investigator named David Chun. He was expensive, but Rebecca assured me he was worth every penny. David got to work immediately. Within 2 weeks, he provided me with photographs of Marcus and Jasmine at various hotels and restaurants' credit card statements showing charges. I'd never seen records of a secret apartment Marcus was renting downtown. Their love nest evidence of jewelry purchases, vacation bookings, and expensive gifts. But here's where it got interesting. David discovered that Marcus had been systematically moving money out of our joint accounts. Small amounts at first, but it added up. Over the past 6 months, he transferred nearly $200,000 to a separate account I didn't know existed. He was preparing to leave me and leave me with nothing. Rebecca smiled when I showed her the evidence. "Oh, Patricia," she said, "he just made this so much easier for us." We spent the next few months building an airtight case. I documented everything. Every late night, every business trip, every lie. I gained access to his email accounts, his bank records, everything. I know, legally questionable, but my attorney assured me we could use most of it. I discovered that Marcus had been telling Jasmine he was going to leave me after our 15th wedding anniversary. He wanted one last happy celebration to avoid suspicion. Then he'd file for divorce. Our anniversary was in 2 months. That's when I had the most delicious idea. I started playing the role of the perfect, oblivious wife even more convincingly. I suggested we have a big anniversary celebration. 15 years, Marcus. We should celebrate at Le Bernardin, that fancy French restaurant you love. He hesitated for a moment, guilt maybe flickering across his face, but then agreed. "Sure, honey. Whatever you want." I made reservations for our anniversary. A private dining room at the most exclusive restaurant in the city. I told Marcus I'd invited a few close friends to celebrate with us. What I didn't tell him was who exactly I'd invited. In the meantime, I played my part perfectly. I was attentive, loving, completely unsuspecting. I even started dressing up more, doing my hair and makeup. Marcus barely noticed, of course. His mind was elsewhere. 3 weeks before our anniversary, I did something bold. I called Jasmine. "Hello." Her voice was young, bubbly. "Hi, is this Jasmine?" I asked, keeping my voice professional. "Yes, who's this?" "This is Patricia Morrison, Marcus's wife." There was a sharp intake of breath. Silence. "I know about you," I continued calmly. "And I know about everything you and my husband have been doing." "Mrs. Morrison, I'm not calling to argue with you," I interrupted. "I'm calling with an invitation." "An invitation?" "Marcus and I are celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary on the 23rd at Le Bernardin. 7 p.m. Private dining room. I'd love for you to join us." "What? Why would I?" "Because I think you deserve to be there. After all, you've been such an important part of Marcus's life this past year. It wouldn't be right to celebrate without you." She was speechless. "I'll have your name on the guest list," I said sweetly. "Wear something nice. It's formal." I hung up before she could respond. The day of our anniversary arrived. I wore a stunning red dress, the one Marcus had bought me for our 10th anniversary, but I'd never worn. My hair was professionally styled. I looked absolutely radiant. When Marcus saw me, he actually paused. "You look beautiful," he said, and for a moment I saw a flicker of the man I'd married. "Thank you, darling," I replied, kissing his cheek. "Tonight is going to be unforgettable." I had no idea how right I was. We arrived at Le Bernardin at 6:45 p.m. The private dining room was elegant, soft lighting, a table set for 8 people, champagne chilling in ice buckets. Marcus looked around. "I thought you said a few close friends?" "I did," I smiled. "They'll be here soon." At exactly 7 p.m., the door opened. Rebecca, my attorney, walked in first, looking professional in a sharp navy suit. Marcus's face showed confusion. "Rebecca? I didn't know you two were still in touch." "Oh, Patricia and I have been talking quite a lot lately," Rebecca said smoothly, taking a seat. Then David Chun, the private investigator, entered. Marcus didn't recognize him. "This is David," I introduced. "A colleague of Rebecca's." The next guest made Marcus's face go pale. It was Richard Morrison, Marcus's father, a stern man who'd always prided himself on family values and integrity. "Dad, what are you doing here?" Marcus stammered. "Your wife invited me," Richard said coldly. "Said there was something important she needed to share with the family." Then came Marcus's sister, Jennifer, and his boss from the investment firm, Robert Chun. Marcus was sweating now. "Patricia, what is this?" "Patience, darling," I said sweetly. "We're still waiting for one more guest." At 7:15 p.m., the door opened one final time. Jasmine stood in the doorway, looking terrified and beautiful in a black cocktail dress. The color drained from Marcus's face completely. What is she doing here?" he whispered. "I invited her," I said calmly, gesturing to an empty seat. "Jasmine, please sit down." She looked like she wanted to run, but something, maybe curiosity, maybe shock, made her step inside. The room was silent except for the soft classical music playing in the background. I stood up, champagne glass in hand. "Thank you all for coming," I began. "As you know, Marcus and I are celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary tonight. 15 years of marriage. 15 years of partnership. 15 years of, well, I thought it was love." Marcus tried to interrupt. "Patricia," I held up my hand. "Please, darling, let me finish." I turned to our guests. "I gathered you all here tonight because I believe in honesty, in transparency, and I thought you all deserved to know the truth about the man we're celebrating." I pulled out a folder from my purse, the folder Rebecca and I had prepared. 6 months ago, I discovered that my husband has been having an affair with Jasmine Peterson, a junior analyst at his firm. Gasps around the table. Richard's face turned red. Jennifer covered her mouth. "But it's not just the affair," I continued, my voice steady. "Marcus has been systematically stealing money from our joint accounts, $200,000 to be exact, and hiding it in a secret account. He's been planning to divorce me and leave me penniless." I placed documents on the table, bank statements, hotel receipts, photographs. "He's also been violating company policy by engaging in a relationship with a subordinate, which I believe, Robert, violates your firm's ethics code." Robert Chen's jaw clenched as he looked at Marcus with disgust. Marcus stood up abruptly. "This is insane. You can't." "Sit down," his father commanded in a voice I'd never heard before. Marcus sat. I turned to Jasmine, who looked like she might cry. "Jasmine, I don't hate you," I said. "You're young. He's your boss. There's a power dynamic there. But I need you to understand something." I pulled out my phone and showed her a message. It was from Marcus to another woman, someone named Kelly R. The message was from 2 weeks ago. "Can't wait to see you this weekend while Patricia thinks I'm at that conference. Jasmine's getting too clingy anyway." Jasmine's eyes widened. Her hand flew to her mouth. "You're not special to him, honey," I said gently. "You're just the current one." Tears streamed down her face. She stood up and ran out of the room. I turned back to Marcus, who looked completely destroyed. "I filed for divorce this morning," I announced. "Given your asset hiding and fraud, Rebecca is confident we'll get a very favorable settlement. The prenup you were counting on, it has an infidelity clause you apparently forgot about." Richard stood up and walked over to his son. "You disgust me," he said quietly, then turned to me. "Patricia, if you need anything, financially, legally, anything, you call me. You're more family to me than he is right now." He left without another word to Marcus. Robert Chin stood next. "Marcus, consider this your formal notice. You're suspended pending investigation. If these allegations are proven, and they look pretty damning, you're terminated." He left too. Jennifer came over and hugged me. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "You deserve better." Soon it was just Marcus, Rebecca, David, and me in that beautiful dining room. Marcus looked broken. "How could you do this to me?" he asked. I actually laughed. "How could I?" "Marcus, you spent a year lying to me. You stole from our family. You betrayed every vow we made. And you have the audacity to ask how I could do this to you." I stood up, leaving the documents on the table. "Enjoy your anniversary dinner, Marcus. It's already paid for. I'd hate for it to go to waste." That was 8 months ago. The divorce was finalized last month. Thanks to the infidelity clause and evidence of hidden assets, I received 70% of our marital assets, full custody of the children, the house, and substantial alimony. Marcus was fired from his firm after the internal investigation confirmed he'd violated multiple policies. His father cut him off financially. Last I heard, he's working at a smaller firm for a fraction of his previous salary. Jasmine left the company too. I actually ran into her a few months ago. She apologized, genuinely. I told her I hoped she learned something from this. As for me, I'm thriving. I went back to school to finish the degree I'd abandoned when I got married. I'm pursuing psychology. I want to help other women who've been through similar situations. My children are doing well. They're angry at their father, but we're in family therapy working through it. I've even started dating again, nothing serious, just rediscovering who I am outside of being Marcus's wife. The old Patricia would have confronted Marcus privately, cried, maybe even taken him back eventually. But that anniversary dinner, that was for the new Patricia, the one who refuses to be disrespected, the one who knows her worth, the one who serves revenge at exactly the right temperature. Cold. Thank you for listening to my story, dear friends. If you're going through something similar, please know you are not alone. You are stronger than you think, and you deserve respect, honesty, and love. If this story resonated with you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support keeps these stories coming. Until next time, this is Sister Sephora reminding you, never let anyone dim your light. Stay strong. Stay blessed.